PPCRV has always been known to campaign and advocate for the marginalized, for the people who don't normally have their voices heard. In this segment, we will hear questions from some of these marginalized sectors in society. We will start with Grace Po, who will answer question authored by the urban poor, some of whom are here with us today in UST. The question is, ano ang programa at batas na ipapanukala ninyo para sa ganap na pagpapaunlad ng mga kababaihan at mga pamayanan na nasa ibabang antas ng lipunan?
Alam niyo po, sa ating batas, talagang kailangan pantay-pantay na isinusulong ang ating mga karapatan. Kaya kasama na rin po doon, yung pinakanaapi ay dapat bigyan ng mas malawak na pansin. Para sa ating mga kababaihan, halimbawa, na kailangan tulungan ng ating gobyerno, ang pinaka-importante ay bigyan ng suporta ng pagkakataon ng ating mga kababaihan, katulad yan mga kababaihan na nais magtayo ng sarili negosyo, bigyan ng garantiya ng gobyerno sa pagpapautang, sa pagkakakuha ng utang. Pangalawa, yung mga babae na nagtatrabaho sa labas ng bahay, marami sa ating mga korporasyon ang puro mga babaeng empleyado pero walang daycare centers na mag-aalaga sa kanilang mga anak. Kaya hindi sila masyadong panatag sa kanilang posisyon sa pagtrabaho sa labas ng bahay. Pangatlo, ang ating mga kababaihan ay dapat bigyan ng tamang suporta pagdating sa kalusugan. Ngayon na sa mga programa ng ating gobyerno, dapat palakasin ang mga barangay health centers at bigyan ng pansin ang pangailangan ng mga kababaihan, hindi lamang pang physical, kundi pang psychological needs ng ating mga kababaihan. Dapat din natin palakasin, halimbawa, ang institusyon ng pamilya. Hindi ako sang-ayon sa divorce sa panahon na ngayon, pero ribisitahin natin ang family code at tignan natin kung paano mas magiging equitable ang annulment na dapat ay hindi lamang ang mayayaman ang may avail nito.
Thank you, Grace. Next, we have Attorney Liases, and your question is coming from college teachers in universities without high school. So walang high school yung mga universidad na ito. The K-12 program is admirable. We believe in their objectives. But there is no transition plan and many sectors affected were not even consulted. There will be no incoming first and second year college students during the first 2 years of the implementation of the K-12 program. If the school you work in has no high school, the college teachers cannot be absorbed and many of them will be retrenched. What will you do to help the transition for these college teachers and also for the many other workers in colleges that will lose their jobs with the implementation of K-12?
Alam mo, napakasaklap niyan. I am forced to defend something that I am not in favor of. Si Attorney Llasos po ay hindi in favor doon sa K+12. Sa bagay, nandiyan na yan, ay pinapatupad na. Talagang napakalaki po ng concern ng nasa tertiary education, lalo na yung mga profesor, dahil darating ang panahon na walang mag-e-enroll sa college. So, ibig sabihin yan, magkakaroon ng mass layoff kapag walang estudyante na pumasok sa kolehiyo. Ano po ba ang dapat na ginagawa ng pamahalaan para dyan? Una, tinitingnan natin na kung pwedeng mahanapan ng job placement para maipasok doon sa mga universidad, no? O kaya makapagturo sa halimbawa sa high school, pero sa tingin ko that is beneath their dignity sapagkat mga college professor siya tapos pagtuturuin mo lamang sa high school. So hindi talaga natingnan yung ganyang aspeto, napakahirap. Pangalawa, sapagkat marami sila sa kanila ay mariretrench, sa tingin ko kinakailangan mabigyan sila ng karampatang separation pay, no? Para naman magamit nila doon sa 2 taon o higit pa na hindi sila makakapagtrabaho, na makapag-invest sa mga negosyo para maging productive sila at parang patuloy pa rin na mabubuhay ang kanilang pamilya kahit na wala silang trabaho. So sana man lang ito'y tiningnan ng K+12 program para hindi tayo nahaharap sa ganitong masalimuot na pangyayari sa hinaharap.
Thank you, Attorney Llases. For Representative Angara, you have a question coming from the crop farmers of the Philippines. Bananas were a top export until China tightened their laws in March 2012. Now, if insects are found in just one single crate, the entire container of bananas will be shipped back to the Philippines. The industry is losing billions of pesos and banana farmers are suffering. How will you help banana farmers meet the tighter Chinese regulations?
Actually, galing lang ako ng Davao over the weekend and I was talking to some farmers. And ang reklamo ng crop farmers is that yung kontrata nila with the big companies may presyo pero walang quantity. So anong ibig sabihin nun? That's for the protection of the big company because the big company is protected from price increases. But in terms of quantity, hindi sila garantisado. So at the end of the day, yung crop farmers napipilitan ibenta ng mura. So if the government comes in to provide public, what an economist would call public goods in the form of post-harvest facilities, then yung mga farmers hindi mapipilitan magbenta when the prices are low. Pag meron tayong pautang, then hindi pipirma ng what a lawyer would call a contract of adhesion, which is grossly imbalanced in favor of the more powerful party. In this case, the crop farmer is the less powerful party and he's forced to sign that contract with the big agricultural companies. So the government can come in to level the playing field in agriculture.
Thank you so much. Senator Escudero, we now have questions from the public school teachers. Public school teachers naman ngayon. Their question is, there is a basic minimum wage, but ironically, some of us public school teachers who are government employees do not enjoy this minimum wage set by the government. Some of us take home 3,000 to 4,000 pesos a month. What do you do? What will you do to make sure that we get the best and fair minimum wage for teachers? What do you think this minimum wage should be? And how will you make sure that all teachers, even outside Metro Manila, are above or at least within minimum wage?
Let me clarify. Ang sweldo ng public school teacher na regular, in fact, hindi lang mas mataas, competitive sa private school teacher counterparts nila. Yung tumatanggap ng below minimum wage, yan yung mga volunteer teachers na tinatawag na contractual at nanggagaling lamang sa munisipyo yung sweldo dahil wala pa silang item na formal mula sa Department of Education. Congress has been addressing that the past few years sa pamamagitan ng pag-hire ng karagdagan teacher kada taon. During the previous administration, although 15,000 teacher ang hinahire ng Kongreso sang-ayon sa budget, ang ginagamit lamang nilang hiring ay 5,000 para yung savings magamit sa ibang bagay. Sa ilalim ng administrasyon ni Pangulo Aquino, to be fair to Secretary Luistro, they have been filling up each and every item that Congress allocated for new teachers. Para yung volunteer teachers, hindi na po makatanggap ng below minimum wage at pag regular na sila, competitive po yung salary at sweldo nila. Pero kulang pa rin siyempre yung budget natin para dyan. Kailangan pa rin dagdagan at kailangan din tingnan at tutukan yung benepisyo ng teachers. Halimbawa, we have filed a bill which has been pending in Congress kaugnay ng dagdag ng benepisyo sa teachers, which is kapag ka na-assign ng teacher sa isang mahirap at malayong lugar, walang transportasyon, walang tubig, dapat bigyan siya ng additional pay kaugnay ng hardship na yan sa pamamagitan ng hardship allowance. Hopefully, that will pass in the coming Congress.
Thank you. We now have Professor Alcantara, and your question will be coming from the PWDs, from the persons with disabilities. We have a hard time taking public transportation, riding the jeep, riding the bus. How will you, if elected as a senator, make sure that persons with disabilities can ride buses and jeeps with facility? What measures will you undertake?
Yung ano po, yung mga disability, mga disabled persons are entitled to facilities na walang discrimination. Kaya pagka may mga transportation na facilities, kailangan mayroon silang preference doon. At saka dapat meron silang discount sa kanilang fare at saka meron silang preference over those who are not disabled. At saka yung ang batas natin ngayon, meron pa kasing discrimination sa mga disabled. Meron silang distinction between the qualified disabled at saka yung handicap workers. Kaya kailangan mawala na yung discrimination na yun. Makikita natin yung handicap worker, mas mababa ang sweldo, below the minimum wage. Samantalang yung qualified disabled, entitled already to the minimum wage. Kaya dapat, yung mga, even those who are handicapped workers, should get the same benefits. And magkaroon din ng mga encouragement o kaya benefits to those employers and public utilities so accord benefits and protection to the disabled.
Thank you so much. Senator Anasan, your question is coming from the overseas Filipino workers. Tinatawag kaming bagong bayani. Pero malungkot, the new heroes do not enjoy benefits like SSS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth, so that when we come home, we are completely unprotected and unprovided for. If you win, how will you ensure that OFWs, the new heroes, enjoy the same government benefits that locally employed Filipinos do, even if our work takes us abroad?
Thank you for that question, Ana. Mas malalim pa sa SSS benefits ang issue. Kahit na marami tayong problema, this is such a beautiful country and we are a good and gifted and blessed people. The question is, bakit 15 million of our people are outside our shores? So let's give them a compelling reason to come home. I will quote at this point two cabinet secretaries, Secretary Abad of DBM and Secretary Balisacan of NEDA. Walang maniniwala na we are growing at 6.6% unless maramdaman yung trickle-down effect. More jobs, more infrastructure, more food on the table, more schools, more bridges, more hospitals. That will be the compelling reason for them to come home. Kaya lang, ang problema is kulang tayo sa predictability. New president, new policy, new governor, new policy, new senator, new policy. Kailangan predictable tayo. Let's bring these 15 million heroes back home. In the ancient world, heroes were not defined in iconic terms. Heroes were men and women, young or old, who worked and built for the next generation. Let's bring everybody back home so that we can all be heroes in our own country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Honasan. And there you have it. We've heard the issues of the sectors and the responses of our senatorial candidates. Back to you, Pia.
Thank you, Anna. We have 6 students of the University of Santo Tomas with a question for each of our 6 candidates, our guests. Let's begin with Ruby Dawan. She's president of the Central Student Council. Hi, Ruby. What's your question for Senator Cheese Escudero?
Good afternoon, sir. For my question, what piece of legislation you have sponsored which you think have a great impact on our national development?
Bago ko sagutin yun, nais kong sabihin at liwanagin. Anumang basang pinapasa ng Senado, hindi ko pwedeng angkinin ako lang ang gumawa dahil hindi papasa yon kung hindi sinuportahan ng lahat o pinahintulutan ng lahat. Lalo na sa Senado, na isang senador lang, pwedeng harangin anumang piraso ng lehislasyon na pinapanukala ng sinumang senador. Para sa akin, 2 siguro. Una, sa lokal na level ng kongresista ko, ang pagiging syudad ng aming 2 bayan doon, kung saan wala pa akong anak noon, ama na ako ng isang syudad na nagbigay ng mas malawak at malaking pondo para sa aming syudad at probinsya para mas gumanda at tumaas ang serbisyo publiko ng aming mga kababayan. On the national front, siguro yung pinaka-latest na pinasa namin, yung Marcos Compensation Bill, na nagbigay ng pagkilala sa pagkakamali ng gobyerno sa nagdaang panahon, nagbigay ng recognition at kompensasyon sa mga naging biktima ng martial law, at para magpadala ng simpleng mensahe para sa bawat Pilipino. At ito ay never again. Never again dapat nating pahintulutang mangyari yan sa ating kasaysayan. Never again dapat nating pahintulutan ng isang gobyerno na apihin, apakan at yurakan ang mga karapatang pantaong dapat ginagalang niya, pinoprotektahan at pinapangalagaan.
Thank you, Senator Escudero.